On this episode of Locked On Coyotes, I am saying rip, bozo.
You're Locked On Coyotes, your daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Coyotes, your number one daily Arizona Coyotes podcast. I am your host, Robyn Leonio, alongside Matthew Jacobson. I want to thank everyone for making this show your first listen every day. We are free and available everywhere you get your podcasts. Training camp has pretty much started now, Matthew. So we are getting closer and closer to the season. In about a week or so, we're going to start moving back to our traditional 5-day-a-week content for everybody because we're back into season mode. I couldn't be more excited.
It kind of snuck up on me. We're getting ready for chair set today at the arena for some girl band concert. I have no idea. I'm too old for this stuff, but I saw some of the interviews and whatnot, and I was like, oh wow, I would much rather be covering training camp right now than setting chairs down on the floor.
I mean, it's that way, but like a lot of us have, it just sneaks up. I think that's the thing about hockey season, and just we wait anxiously for it, but then when it hits, you're like, oh, wait a minute, we're already here.
Oh, that was today. Oh, wow. I had 9 months to work on it, did nothing. And if you get that reference, you're old like me. But do you want to just jump into the I had a joke on Twitter, and I want to set it up now. We have the roster for the rookie face-off.
Oh, yeah, let's get to that. So the rookie the rookie face-off is going to be in Las Vegas this year, and it's next week. Starts early next week. It's your traditional Southwestern teams, San Jose, Los Angeles, Anaheim, Arizona, Vegas. They just all meet in one city. It rotates every year. This year it is in Las Vegas, and they're just the rookies of the teams just go and have scrimmages against each other, and I love it. I love that. But the rosters were announced earlier in the week, and we're gonna go ahead and just break down those rosters. You said you had your joke, so I'm gonna
So number 84, forward Micah Miller. I quote tweeted and I was like, can the Coyotes just have a no M Miller policy? At this point, with how much of a lightning rod always is around this team, and I'm honestly surprised that joke didn't get any Canadians coming our way. Let's have a no M Miller policy. Can we all agree on that moving forward? Sorry, Micah, you could be a great guy, but change your name to Nicholas. I don't know.
Change your name to Luis
Miller. I like
Luis
it.
Miller. I like. There you go.
Or if you like the alliteration, nah. I was gonna go Matthias, but I was like, you already have an M. Nah, no M Miller. You do N. No, N's as close as you said.
No M Miller. Because we already know what happened last time. We want to avoid that.
Do you want to go over any of the roster that you might be surprised by? Because I forgot Reese Patelli was at all connected with us. I think he played for the Roadrunners last year, didn't he?
I think so. I think it's been
here. I can fact check that while we are doing this because the name sounds familiar, but I don't think he was drafted by the Coyotes. But there was a player with a similar name that was drafted by the Coyotes, so I can fact check this. He's 22 years old, 5'11". He's a center/winger. Doesn't look like he was ever drafted, but he played for Tucson 15 games last year, had a goal, and also played for the ECHL affiliate, the Gladiators, 49 games, 11 goals, 26 assists, 37 points. So as long as he's a contributing member of society in Tucson, it's fine.
Absolutely. Another one that kind of snuck up on me that I just looked at the last name and I was like, wait a minute, is there a relation? Because I thought it was different. But Josh
Ben
Prokop.
Boyd? I thought you were talking about Ben Boyd.
Well, different. Okay, we'll get that one in a little bit. But Josh Prokop, I was like, wait a minute, where do I recognize Prokop? Apparently, he is the older brother of Luke Prokop, who, if anyone remembers, is that I think he's still with the Nashville organization. I forget what organization he's with, but the first openly gay NHL prospect. But Josh Prokop is his brother, and is on this list. This is at number 93. So when I saw that name, I was like, wait a minute, who? I'm like, oh, that's right.
I have Luke's profile right here. The first quote is from Elite Prospects in 2020. And it's like, Prokop is a large human being. That's a great way to start off the profile.
I love that.
I looked up Ben Boyd because I was like, oh my God, do we have a Jordan Schmaltz situation? We don't. There's no relation. And I already looked up Michael Lombardi because he was signed by the Roadrunners after college last year. And no, unfortunately, he's not related to Matthew, I don't think.
Yeah, just a lot of those names just gonna hit. But other than that, I think how many players total? We got 27 players are going to the rookie Faceoff tournament in Vegas. It says 16 forwards, 8 defensemen, 3 goaltenders.
I think the Coyotes are going to win. I have a contact in Vegas now. A coworker from the Glendale Arena is working over there now, so it's like
nice.
I have a contact now. I might be able to get tickets.
It's at City National Arena, so I don't think it's that difficult.
Oh, it's the smaller arena. Oh, we can get tickets to that.
It's at the Golden Knights practice facility.
Damn, we can get tickets to that. Lucas Haas. Why does that name sound familiar? Let's see. Braden Hashe. Why does so many of these guys sound familiar?
But a lot of the other names, though, so those are maybe some names that are probably like sound familiar, give us a little bit of maybe a surprise, kind of whatever. But why don't we talk about the ones some of the names we're excited for? Because there's a lot of them.
Montana Onyebuchi.
We'll get to that on the other side. First, a quick word from our sponsors.
Oh, we get to talk about FanDuels today. So, football season is about to kick off, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to win all season long. Because right now, when you bet on the Super Bowl winner, you get bonus bets every time they win in the regular season. That is ridiculous. Just pick a team to win the Super Bowl, and you'll get a bonus bet every time they win. You can use bonus bets on spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and start earning bonus bets with America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon.
All right, Matt. So you teased it right away. Let's get to that one.
Montana.
Let's have some fun.
All right.
Let's talk about your boy Montana Onyebuchi.
Montana Onyebuchi. Look! I need to meet this kid. I need an autograph, and I need an autograph on a cowboy hat. But Montana Onyebuchi is one of the defenders. He's right below Jeremy Langlois, actually, numerically, 75 and 79. So you're getting some weird numbers. I always kind of like it. It's one of the things I missed when I used to go to like the rookie tournaments or whatever when I was growing up. Is you just see the weirdest numbers. Like the only ones that are standard are like Dylan Gunther at 11 and Anson Thornton at 34, but the big defenseman, I'm really excited to see what we're probably going to get a preview of for Tucson, because while he will likely be on the short list of guys to get called up if we have injuries up here in Arizona, he was picked up to be a Tucson player, and Tucson needs the depth. I'm really interested because I kind of get that feeling that you bring him in to be more of a two-way guy who has some size, and I want to see how he plays against. Look, you're playing against rookies, and I said this when I was watching P.O. Joseph back in 2018 or 2019. This was before the Kessel trade, and I was not very impressed by his game because if you are playing against other rookies and other young players, you should look good. You should, like, that's among your peers. That's among your skill level. You should look good. So we obviously can't say if he plays really well, he's an NHLer. And if he plays terribly, he doesn't belong in the AHL or whatever. He belongs to ECHL. We can't really say that, but I am going to keep an eye out, and it might color my expectations a little bit. Because you want to see a little bit of energy. You want to see a small preview of what you're going to get in the season. And I want Montana Onyebuchi to go out there and get something done.
Oh, be that, just be that physical guy. Get that grinding in there.
Get a shot on goal. Yeah! I'm going to destroy this mic. Everyone listening, everyone listening, if you're driving to work, I apologize. If you hit the car in front of you, you can blame Robyn for allowing me on this program. And also Sean. You can email Sean about compensating you guys.
I love it. But, okay. A lot of other players to be excited for. I think even if you look at the top, like if you look at the numerical roster in terms of the top four, number 10, number 11, number 28, number 34, Maverick Lamoureux, Dylan Guenther, Connor Geekie, Anson Thornton. Like, those are like four already to look forward to. Anson Thornton, again, we're looking at a young goaltender who might be able to finally get his shot. We'll see. We still haven't seen enough, but I think
he should be old enough for the AHL this year or next year. Which was the year he was eligible for? This year? Because I know that Koronin got that loan 2 years ago, and I have no idea what's going on with Rasmus Koronin right now. I know he's just kind of playing over, I think, in one of the Euro leagues. But I'm curious to see which of these young goalies is going to make an impact in Tucson. Because Ivan needs a fire lit under him. I love Ivan. I want Ivan to be the starting goalie here. And it's weird that he's number one now, so at least I haven't bought the jersey yet. But I need a guy like Anson Thornton to come in and kind of like how he surprised all of us in 2020s. Either 2020 or 2021, I forget which, that training camp. Do it again, but do it in the AHL.
I want to see enough of a fire lit under Ivan to have him get so excited after solid wins in the AHL level to bring back those post game cartwheels like that has been so known about him.
Are you sure it's the cartwheels he's known by, or known as being a gymnast? Because every single time they talk about this kid, it's like, he did this and he did that. It's like, okay,
it's definitely the cartwheels.
But I want to know what he's doing on the ice. A couple other names. Julian Lutz. I did not realize he was as young as he was. It feels like he's been in the system for a while, but I think he's only been in the system for like a year.
At the rookie camp last year.
Yeah, at the rookie camp, he had a great shot. I was thoroughly impressed, and he's skating well, obviously. And again, it's against rookies, but you should look good against other rookies. That is my expectation for these players. They have to look good against other rookies. And he had a damn good shot. I want to see how that develops. And as soon as he's eligible, I want him in Tucson. I want him shooting snipes in Tucson. And if we can get him, on the Michelli or the Garland route, we'll be fine.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think the same thing can be said for Maximilian Zuber. I mean, he is technically eligible, but there's a lot of other hurdles to get him over here to the American game. I just couldn't be like, I think you said it over the summer that it's been said that he is the most NHL ready out of some of the prospects especially later round prospects the Coyotes have.
I don't remember which the defenseman, because I remember we were talking about a couple of our defensemen, and I forget which, whether one of them was Langlois or Zuber. But the thing is, he showed a lot of maturity, and he just won a championship in the DEL. Like, this kid is good, and I think he's still slated to be loaned back to the DEL, but he signed his ELC almost immediately, which was really weird. It was him and Lamoureux that signed pretty quickly for defensemen. Obviously, Lamoureux was a higher pick, but I want him in Tucson. Like, I want to be able to watch this kid, and I think it was Craig Morgan one of his exchanges on Twitter, he was saying that the team doesn't think he's ready yet. I don't remember if they were referring to Zuber or Duda. I think it might have been Duda, but I remember Zuber's name's been kind of tossed around a little bit. I think I want to see him how he plays in this to see if he is ready for the AHL game, but I want him in the AHL. Like, the second you can throw a kid in the AHL, that's like the highest level of competition they're going to get that's not like the KHL. Like, because most of the Euro leagues, the AHL game, it's full of a lot of guys that either barely burnt out of the NHL or guys that are trying to get themselves into the NHL. That's a high level of competition. So I want him over here. That's just me. I want to be able to drive a couple hours down south and watch Maximilian Zuba. Zub.
Oh. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Jeremy Langlois, you mentioned his name. Coming, being able to, get a glimpse of him after having won the Memorial Cup over the summer.
Yeah, we have a lot of prospects that won some hardware last year.
Right? Like, that's an exciting.
I remember he was complimented for his defensive ability too. He's in the queue, right? His team was in the queue.
He's in the queue. Yeah, he was on the Quebec Ramparts last year.
Because I know that league is not seen as being very defensively sound. So to me, if anything, it has to mean a little more if I'm hearing compliments about his defensive game.
True.
Who else we look? Oh, we got Ratu, who had a phenomenal year last year, and was his Liga. I want to double check this live because I really wanted them to draft his brother as well because his brother was also available. I think a draft or two after him. He finally signs his ELC, and Ratu is coming off of a really good season. Yep, in Liga, 18 goals, 24 assists, 42 points in 53 games, and he had 10 playoff game appearances. I want to see how it's going to translate over here because from what I can tell, he should have a solid shot and some good speed, and we could always use that type here. We can always use that type of player in Tucson. I'm not sure if he ever projects out to be an NHLer, but put the Roadrunner on his chest.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the cool thing. I think earlier there was a lot of I think before his brother was drafted, I think Aku had a lot of hype around him because he's going to be pretty well anticipated once he hits the NHL level.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone loved a lot of his game. I think it was especially because of his performance at the World Junior Championship, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was phenomenal. So it's a lot less has been has been known about him lately, but I think he's still pretty well anticipated. And I think we can't. It's just excited that we're going to see him at the rookie faceoff tournament in this case too. It's going to be finally there.
Yeah, and we'll also get a peek at Ekfard, Kipke, obviously Lombardi, and yes, okay, we'll see Josh Doan and Logan Cooley. we will see those two prospects.
Oh, 100%. I think those are going to be the ones that are paid attention to the most. Absolutely. I mean, Josh Doan just because the legacy, and Cooley because it's Logan Cooley. A lot of people have been making fun of the Coyotes for kind of saying top prospect in the world.
Because he is. Connor Bedard's a bust. All right. He hasn't even scored an NHL goal yet. What a loser.
Look, let's be real here. Yes, Connor Bedard, is this young prodigy and is gonna be really good. And I think there's a lot to be anticipated, and this definitely makes him the top. But I think after the performance everyone saw from Logan Cooley last year, let's put it this way: Connor Bedard, the most anticipated; Logan Cooley, the top.
I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill because what the hell else do we got in Arizona except for hopeless optimism? But you know what? Let's transition. All right. I mentioned losers earlier. You want to talk about a loser? Well, let's go to the third segment. Let's talk about this very interesting individual. I had to let out some steam before the show, so I can keep it nice and PG. So this came out today around lunchtime at 11 local time from Arizona Sports by I think it's Greg Barr. Arizona Coyotes owner wants to buy out minority shareholder Andrew Barroway. So if you don't know what happened, Barroway was arrested last year in Colorado on charges related to potential domestic violence. The charges were not followed through with. They were dismissed by a judge, and after they were dismissed, he let out a statement. And personally, I don't care about the statement. I have to be very careful with how I talk right now. I'm talking on behalf of myself and not on behalf of Locked On or Robyn. I don't think he's a good person. All right, nothing I know about him I'm allowed to talk about because it's all allegeds and asterisks and all that. But me personally, I do not think he's a good dude. I've wanted him gone since the Morello sale because when it was realistic to get rid of him, I wanted him gone. I don't know why he held on to a minority. It could be because of little political inside stuff with the NHL. Don't know, don't care. That's outside of my pay grade. But I don't think he's a good dude, and I don't think he's good for the organization. And it's not official yet, but with the reports coming out that Morello wants to buy him out, rip bozo. All right, get lost, sell your share.
Andrew Barroway currently holds only a 5% stake with the Arizona Coyotes. So you'd imagine that buyout isn't going to be a whole lot, if that's the truth. There's a lot of other things that are, that kind of point to that, where you had earlier in the summer, I think we had that, that SUV outside of the NHL office with the Coyotes license plate that said AltGov, which alternative governor, which Andrew Barroway's current title is with the Arizona Coyotes. I think also earlier it was shown that Barroway listed his Scottsdale home on the market. So that kind of tells you, he's out. He's just completely going to be off the face of the earth here in Arizona. Just let him
just go away. Just
let it go.
Let it
go.
All right. You didn't have the money to run the team when you bought the team. All right. Hence why the team didn't spend any money under him. The team sucked under him. They started spending way too much when we got Morello. Now we're in a rebuild. But you know what? We got Bill the Builder. We're fine. We got Bill
the Builder.
Can he fix it? Yes, he can. He's going to bring a cup to the desert. But this is a stain on the organization. All right. All the hyperbolic, they're an embarrassment. I usually laugh off because it's normally stupid. This individual getting involved in this altercation, look, I've had marital problems. Yeah, surprising all of you. I'm married. I know who the hell would want to marry this guy, but I've had marital problems. I have not, nor would I decide to get physical with my wife and have the cops called and have this big old stain on whoever is associated with me just because you decided to allegedly throw a little tantrum. Allegedly. Asterisks. All of that. All right? It's not hard to be a decent person. It's not hard to walk away. It's not hard to not be physical with people in your life. Allegedly. Not be allegedly physical with people in your life. So, that was an embarrassment that he's not even associated with the team. He has the minority stake, doesn't do anything with the team, hasn't really been involved. Anyone that knows anything about how the team is run, he's not been involved, and he still managed to put a sore, black eye on this organization being that far away because, Coyotes owner did this, and good riddance. Sell your
something that
go away.
Something that the NHL technically can do, and I would love for this to be the case, because again, I am pro, just Morello full on takeover,
or HBO.
Or HBO too, yeah. But that's a different, that's a topic for another day. Because Barroway is still suspended by the National Hockey League, the board of governors can probably just force that 5% sale left, and literally just even force it for $1.
They theoretically could, and that's what I want them to do. They're not going to because they don't want to set the precedent for that. Even just be blatant. Even that racist NBA owner got a very large chunk of change off that forced sale. They're never going to set the precedent that they can force you to sell for nothing. But I do hope he gets under market because he needs to go. He needs to be gone. This is like that is removing the last bit of trash from the organization. Like everything will be purged once this last little bit of business is done.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of Coyotes fans are hoping for. There are a lot of people who have their thoughts of Alex Morello and the way he runs things, but I think a lot of people can vouch that it's definitely better than the alternative. So, if this is true, then it's good. I think I hope Morello takes takes on that final 5%. But here's the interesting thing that I'm curious about. I'm not sure if there will be another alternative governor, because there always needs to be just like a second, essentially like a vice president ish, because that's how things are. The majority owner is always the main governor that goes to the governor's meeting for the NHL, and then sometimes if they're unavailable, then the alternative goes in their place.
I mean, look, what they also could do is Morello has other investors that want to be in on that were in on the Tempe Entertainment District. Gutierrez had some comments today at the media availability about how literally essentially saying what we've been saying on the show, that there's going to be some changes to fit wherever it's going to be to the plans, but they still plan on having the outline of all that still there, the retail, the shopping, the theater, all that. They still want all of that to be in this district. This might have to alter some things. I wouldn't be surprised if you bring in another minority owner, someone that are already associated with Morello, that you just get an extra bit of cash infusion. The more the merrier at this point, because while Morello, at the very least, looking at his assets, likely has the money he says he does, and he also seems to be spending it like he does at his other business ventures. You bring in more capital, that just raises the likelihood that anything will get done on this front. Whether it's Morello taking over the 5%, whether it's him bringing in somebody else, as long as Barroway is no longer involved, I'm cool with it. Like, you can sell it to almost anybody else that isn't like Robert Sarver, pretty much.
Yeah, practically, and we'll have to see. We'll have to wait. But it's just a report. We'll find out more as as it comes out, and we'll provide you that info right here on the Locked On Coyotes podcast once we know more. But anyways, that's to be it for today's episode of Locked On Coyotes. Do you have any final thoughts? I'll go to you to say any final thought you have.
No, I was just saying as like a period. Like yeah. It's like emphasizing you wrapping it up. That's my B. I talk too much. I'm gonna mute myself. Take it away.
All right, that's going to be it for today's episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a review, like, comment, and subscribe if you've yet to already. We're available everywhere you get your podcasts, including on YouTube and the Sirius XM radio app. Don't forget to interact with us on social media on Facebook, facebook.com/LockedOnCoyotes, on Twitter at @LO_Coyotes, and I'm personally at Robyn_Leonio. Matt Jacobson is at the AZ Sports Guy. Interact with us, ask a question you might have. We might answer right back or on a future episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. Thanks again, everyone, for listening to today's episode. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Hope you guys are staying healthy. And don't forget to howl on.